Again, another day, another dollar. Melanie, you had a good week?
Yes, thank you.
Man, Melanie, I had a interesting week. They mashed me up. Everybody want to know about this love thing. Everybody, I talk about it, but I explain what is love.
Okay.
So I tell them, yeah, I got the answer for that. Don't worry about that.
So give it to them today.
Yeah, man, we right on target. See what is happening in the world today. People take love
Mm-hmm.
for joke. Love become a toy for people, men and women. We ain't talking about women. And so when people say they love you,
Mm-hmm.
what they meant, I will check you out.
Okay. Check
It's,
you out.
yeah,
Like get intimate.
that too probably just check you out before they get into it. Most
Oh, okay.
most
So
times,
it's the use of the word then versus what they really mean.
yeah, because remember I used to talk about love walking,
Mm-hmm.
love talking.
Mm-hmm.
You have to be in love the minute you go to work.
Mm-hmm.
You start thinking
About the
about the
person.
person at home,
Mm-hmm.
and you go to the machine, and you can't stop thinking. And so what happened? You
But
start to love walk.
okay.
You see, so you start going to either event that happened, even you went to bed last night with them, or
Mm-hmm.
how they speak to you nicely and how they approach you, or what they buy.
Okay.
And so you start like having this walk. It's it's like the person is not there, but your mind can't stop wondering
Mm-hmm.
what had happened last night. Oh, why you can't be beautiful all the time? He was beautiful last night. And and even some cases, love walking means when the person made you angry too,
Okay.
because you start walking. Why we can't get along? Why we can't harmony in the house? So you started to
Think
think about that person
constantly.
constantly. So
Mm.
you got that person in your mind. But we talk about good things here.
Well,
It's a beautiful day God has made. That is a joy. So we talk about good things
yeah,
here. Okay.
but I like what you are introducing
Hmm.
because you mentioned last week about consistency.
Right.
And basically, when the bad things show up, it doesn't change your love for the
No,
individual.
consistency continue. Now,
Mm-hmm.
everybody want to know. No, 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 no. You start me on this memory lane, and then you try to leave me, so they want to know really what love is. So I can tell them what exactly love is. I was just saving it, so, but I'm going to tell them since they hurry.
Mm-hmm.
They can't wait for me to develop the whole story and go down the road.
Okay.
No, the humans are like this, especially women. Everyone, they stop me in the road. Mr. Williams, now you talk about love consistency. You talk about, first you talk about love walking, then you talk about love being consistent.
Mm-hmm.
But they really want to know what love
Is
really is.
love.
When people throw that word, I
Mm-hmm.
love you, what that means. Let me tell you what it means now. So everybody want to know. I'm giving it to them now.
Mm-hmm.
Love is addiction.
Sure enough, is
That's what it is.
an addiction to pleasure,
Addiction. Yes, sir.
to pleasure,
Addiction.
to niceness, to
Love is addiction. You
so
get addicted.
before you get to know a person,
Mhm.
then you really shouldn't be using that word love.
Exactly. You should say, I kind of like you,
And
or I
I'm
would like to know.
interested,
Yeah.
yeah, in
So,
knowing you better.
but but men use it because men know the word
It's an
love.
attraction.
Yeah, the woman looking for that.
Yeah.
Well, in the next
I
couple of
think
days.
men use it very loosely when
Mhm.
they have a feeling
Mhm.
towards the individual.
But 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 addiction,
Mm-hmm.
it's always remind me of a song.
Mm-hmm.
The Heyman guy sing a song in Rick Carey.
Mm-hmm.
I'm addicted to you. I can't stop finding it. I can't stop shaking it. I can't stop feeling it. I can't stop holding it. I addicted. You know what he's trying to say, right?
Mm-hmm.
When I met you,
Mm-hmm.
I only gone there to get some.
Mm. Okay.
But something happened on this 20 or
Mm-hmm.
getting some. After I get some,
You got addicted
I got
or
addicted.
hooked.
Right. And so once I get addicted, now watch this addiction thing.
Mm-hmm.
Once I get addicted, all things break loose. All hell break loose.
Okay.
Because you have addiction and you want it so bad,
Mm-hmm.
all the bad things you don't see because you're addicted.
Can I ask a
Ask all the
question?
questions you want.
How does that align with the lyrics of Percy Sledge, Otis Redding, when a man loves a woman,
Mm-hmm.
right? You know the lyrics for
Yeah, yeah,
that,
yeah.
right?
Mm-hmm.
Um, she could do no wrong. He would go the miles, right?
Mm-hmm.
He would give up on his best friends and
Mm-hmm.
all of that. How?
Because he was addicted.
Ah,
He got addicted.
okay.
See,
Mm-hmm.
so he wrote a song of his addiction. He didn't call it that. He has called it like a hook.
Right,
Like some people call it hook.
right.
But love somehow, see, for a man, okay, let's break it down. For a woman,
Mm-hmm.
when she become addicted,
Mm-hmm.
watch these words. She cook, she clean, she have sex, she got, and she heard you checking somebody on the outside,
Mm-hmm.
but she forgive you, and she's still sticking with you because she's
Mm-hmm.
addicted. Because that ain't love.
Okay.
Because it's
Um,
addiction.
it is an addiction, but that addiction is also it brings out the crazy.
Yeah, it is crazy.
It brings out the crazy. So,
Bring out
in
addiction.
essence, she may forgive you, but if you do it repeatedly, what is the outcome?
Most times when women get addicted to a man,
Mm-hmm.
fall in love with a man,
Mm-hmm.
it's difficult for her to shift
True.
because she gets so addicted. Women get addicted. Let me tell you what happens. She then find a new relationship, right?
Meaning,
She goes out. She tell you, I had enough of you.
okay.
She goes out. She find another relationship.
Mm-hmm. She find a new addiction,
But yeah, no.
but she's still addicted to you.
She is telling you a line that it sounds good, so you got addicted.
The person who should go out in a
Right.
new
Right.
relationship
So
with.
you getting addicted because you're trying to get you getting
Oh,
addicted. So what has happened? She done addicted to the fella.
who
So
she's with.
she go back to the fella
Mm-hmm.
playing games with you.
Mm.
Husband and wife say they was or say they get, but they end up going back. You know what? Because they're addicted.
Okay.
The addiction is the love.
And that
Mm.
addiction is to some qualities that the individual.
See, them might say love. They ask me what is love is. Love is addiction.
Okay.
So now we get addicted and you become a what? What do you become when you get addicted?
An addict.
An addict. And so
Right.
when you become an addict, people become an addict and don't realize they're an addict.
Mm-hmm.
They can't.
Addicted to all the things
Like Rick
that
Carey said, you
comes
can't.
in that package.
Yeah, you can't stop buying it. You
Mm.
can't stop shaking it. We ain't talking about sex now.
Okay.
You become addicted.
Mm-hmm.
So when you become addicted, now let's break this down to all flaws in the table. So
Mm-hmm.
addiction for somebody is they stuck on something that they can't shake.
Right.
Okay.
Right.
So then they start lying to themselves. So
Okay.
addiction makes you lie to yourself.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not addicted.
Okay.
See, you will never shake the person. If everybody listen to this and who have a relationship and been through something, they'll tell you this is true. You can't shake your addiction. Most times, in fact, you have another something addicted. You addicted to.
Yes.
You
And
understand?
even when you go into a therapy to kick habits that are addictive, you have to replace it with something else. If not, you will be right back
Exactly.
into it.
So you have this relationship.
Mm-hmm.
You're addicted. So you find somebody else to get addicted to. You shake this one. You find somebody else. And guess what happened? Most the humans, woo, trouble start now. I can get mashed up here. All the people calling talk. Most the humans addicted to sex. Not love.
Humans are not
No.
only
Well, okay,
behaviors.
humans are. Let's put it to humans.
Yeah.
But I'm talking about in this circle we go. Most people addicted to sex.
Bahamian men are
Oh,
addicted to sex.
well, woman lie
Women,
because wo- woman lie, sex does the same thing. But let me give you a story.
you always say that.
Yeah, but let me
But
give you a story.
women are more modest with their sexuality.
Women are woman. Listen, woman. Okay, and that comes because the church,
The church and also the
the
socialization
socialization,
process.
and the church been lying to us all these years. Because think about this. Think about this. You tell me,
Hmm.
you preaching
Hmm.
in the church, and a fine dude walk in the door. As a woman, you're gonna acknowledge it. You're gonna say, "Oh, that dude dressed well." Really?
Men do the same thing.
No, no.
The thing about it
We ain't talking
is,
about men. Because if you talk about men, men can try to get out the chair, preaching. He can start preaching on the girl coming. See, that's a whole totally different kind of fish.
really,
Yeah, we start preaching on how women in the church, now wearing sex. See, we go psychology.
hmm,
We won't preach about her,
right?
but we start talking about how women in the church.
And I think it's, sorry to say it,
Say
but
what you
it's
say.
it's trying to, I guess, pacify, adjust,
Mhm.
distract yourself from the distraction.
Yeah, there you go. So, stop right there. Stop right there.
Uh-huh.
Let's go back to what I said earlier. Love is what? Addiction.
Addiction.
And what you do with love to get another, you
Yes.
go to another addiction.
Mhm.
So you use psychology, which is your addiction,
So
to cover
when
up
it
something.
comes back now to what you say
Mhm.
about sexuality and addiction to sex and the fact that women lie, men lie too. I think we strategize in so many different ways to make ourselves appear a certain way in the eyes of the public. But if we are really honest with ourselves, and I think they introduced sex education into the schools. They call it health and family life,
Yeah.
right? But in all honesty, they don't really touch the thing. They just go on the surface and tell you what you already know, but just explain it to you. You have different types of family, this, that, and the next. But the real thing that young people need to know, that your sexuality is a part of you. And so, as a female or a male, it is okay for you to express your sexuality, but you need to do it within the confines of a relationship or whatever. But we, as women in particular, we get railroaded if we are a certain way. The way we dress, the way we speak, the way we conduct ourselves. People say, oh, she ain't nothing but a whore. She ain't nothing but this. But in essence, she's expressing herself.
Yeah. But see, what they do in the, especially in the Bahamas,
Mm-hmm.
they kill out,
They what?
kill out.
Okay.
See, because
Expression,
culture. Yeah,
self-expression
yeah,
too.
yeah. It's perfect. So,
Yeah.
so if you have artistic mind, you can get
Mm-hmm.
killed. Because if I want to wear
Creativity
creativity,
and
they kill the creativity.
yeah,
So,
yeah.
so the church muscle us.
Cover up yourself.
Yeah, the church muscle us. So, what if a man looking at you?
Mm-hmm.
That tells me you are beautiful. God made you the way you are, and will stop the young men from being homosexuals.
Not only
because
that,
because now we keep traction to the women.
yes, yeah,
What has happened in our country? We killed the creative side.
yeah, and we kill the beauty
Yeah.
of our sexuality.
And so, but let's don't talk about sexuality. That's a show for another day. Let's keep it
Mm-hmm.
on love based.
Mm-hmm.
Mm.
Well, basically
Yeah,
now,
it's the same thing, but let's keep it
when
in this
people when people talk love, they really get,
talking about sex. Yeah, but people in see what we doing today is that we using love
mm-hmm,
as a weapon.
okay, or as an inappropriate label.
No, as a weapon because love gets everything a woman wants. I mean, man or woman. wants, right?
They say love makes the world go
Right.
around.
But let me tell
So
you.
therefore, you use it to get what you want.
Yeah, but let me tell you what is so sad.
The word.
Yeah, let me tell you what's so sad.
Mm-hmm.
In the Bible, all the brothers who run the town,
Mm-hmm.
the Bible says we're in the season with the season.
Mm-hmm.
And the Bible always speak about the concubines.
Okay.
All right. And the concubines have a lot of marriage to stay together. Concubine. They have a lot of marriage together. So why you can stand on the pulpit and preach everything but the Bible, but you don't think about the concubine?
Because again, it's interpretation,
Mm.
and somewhere along the line, culturally, that type of living, and I think it. Why
What do you mean?
it have to
What
do.
do you mean? What your type of living? The Bible is the Bible. Bible can't
The
change.
Bible can't change,
No.
but I believe, and that just insight, a light went on in my head
Mm-hmm.
when you look at the fact that this was changed through westernization.
Well, let me ask a
Okay?
question. Why would we see? I got an issue here. See, you
Yes.
start me up on the road. You talking about love, but I got an issue here. The Bible is just based on this colonial.
Well,
Right, hold on, hold on.
we interpret it
Yeah,
based on the colonial
yeah.
framework.
So one man,
Yeah.
the Pope, or
Or
whoever, yeah, the Pope,
mhm.
who runs the,
Or the king.
because all the Bible come from basically the Catholic,
Yeah.
most of it.
The king.
Then they started to lead us down this road,
Mm-hmm.
and so we all believe this.
Mm-hmm.
But something happened to me. We didn't talk about love.
Mm-hmm.
Somebody says, "You answer this question. You theologian. If I went out and make love to somebody
Mm-hmm.
out of marriage or out of single whatever,
Mm-hmm.
and I come home and I pray, and the Christians, the theologians, will tell me, oh, the Lord don't hear your prayer." That's what they say. Think about it now. Let's talk about we're talking about the Bible. Let's be going there. They say God don't hear your prayer. So what all this praying about? So why I can't pray to cover me if I go in? So only them could cover themselves. So I can't do it. So why I want to join this? If only them have the authority to this.
I can't answer
No,
that.
I'm telling you that's why I get beat up this week
Right.
for this having a conversation. Now I know the truth and I know the but I had a conversation where this came up and I want to know why your religion is supreme to every other religion because you grown up in it.
Mm. Okay.
Yeah. So because one white man decided that he
One authority,
okay
one person of
okay.
authority.
So who give him the only authority? The right. I know he didn't write the Bible. But I'm saying, but he
But
rules. He
Tony,
rules the whole.
I don't think you want to open up
No,
that
no, no, no,
conversation with me.
no. I know the reason I hit in this conversation. I'm talking about love,
Mhm.
but I'm talking about
And then it spin from
uh,
the situation with the man having the wife and concubines.
right.
And what I gathered from that
Mm-hmm.
in terms of the authority
Mm-hmm.
and diverting that type of lifestyle, it was really an attack on the family, because one man has
You are so
so
smart.
many
That's what I'm talking about.
children
See,
with
this.
so many. See, because one woman can only produce a child a year. If you have five women, you could have five children within that year.
So, so love, so love now. So the key is this now: the love that I have
Mm-hmm.
in my heart,
Mm-hmm.
and I went out and do some mistake, right? Because I love. I'm a cast out in the biblical time.
Well, within the terms of in the interpretation of whoever
Okay.
holds that
Okay,
view.
okay. In the biblical time, I am cast out. But I am seems like I could be not forgiven, but all the people in the hierarchy could be forgiven. See, love. Love, and I got talking this. Let me tell you why I go on this. So we go back to our love. Love has caused a lot of men lie.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of men um, stray from family.
Mm-hmm.
And I am now, watch this, woo, this can slap everybody in the face. I am believing if we don't be careful, churches are destroying families.
Mm-hmm.
And so, with this love and this addiction, I call it addiction,
Mm-hmm.
and people addicted for it,
Mm-hmm.
they will do anything and cover up anything to
Mm-hmm.
get it.
Okay. So if I was to take you to the definition
You
of
ain't
love
gonna.
from a biblical perspective,
Right.
right?
Mhm.
The Bible describes God as being love,
Mhm.
right? And love to me is when you are willing to give yourself to another holistically, without reservation, without any holdbacks. So, in essence, what is mine is yours. I protect you. I provide for you. You do the same for me.
You're a doctor, right? You've been to school for many years, right, to become a
Mm-hmm.
doctor.
Mm-hmm.
You know that's crazy what you just said?
No,
Say that again. So let people hear what you say.
I said that love, in my understanding, especially on the basis of the Bible, right? Where God is described as love. What does the Bible say? Greater love had no man than this, to do what? Give his life for his friend. So when you are in a relationship, you should be no shorter than that to basically
Listen,
love to lay everything that you own. So that includes being honest, that includes being committed, that includes being consistent.
well, falling in love with somebody,
Mhm.
if you describe that, I don't want to be in that kind of love.
No, it's something that
No,
grows.
no, no, I don't even want to be in that kind. Let me tell you why. So what you telling me, I am the head.
Mhm.
I want you to cut this bush. And I want you to cook, clean, wash, get up, dance to, make love to me every day,
Mhm.
and you ain't got no say.
No, that's not what it says.
That's, you said it.
No, no,
You
no,
hold
no,
on.
no, no, no.
You said, see, God's love is
It
totally different from love for each other.
I don't think so.
No, see, that's where I think we get screwed up.
No, 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 no. Listen,
That's where we go on. That's
what?
when the
Tell
whole
me, tell
relationship
me,
thing goes
tell
screwed up.
me. What is the origin of man?
What's up?
When you believe in the Bible, right?
Yeah. What do you mean if I believe in the Bible?
God resides within each of us because when God created man, what did he do? In order for man to become a living soul, what did he do? He breathed in man's nostril the breath of life. He breathed that. So without God's breath, we are nothing. Sin
So you
is
believe
what
every,
have us.
you believe.
Sin.
I'm, now I'm gonna get myself in trouble here. Now my
Mhm.
sisters gonna eat me alive, but I don't care.
Mhm.
So you believe everything in the Bible,
I believe everything in the Bible within its
and
context,
okay, within this context, and the way they preach it to you.
not the way it's being
Okay,
preached
and
today.
the way it's been taught. No,
Not
okay,
everything, not the way it is
because
taught.
okay, the way it's been taught is to control.
Yeah, but
So
when you
so
look
wait,
at the
give me a chance.
nature of God,
Okay, give me
though,
a chance.
you,
Okay, I understand the nature of God. I'm not talking about God. Listen what I'm talking about.
okay.
So this love that's been taught
Mm-hmm.
is to control.
I,
And too many women, too many foolish women
uh-huh.
are being controlled
But men are being controlled too.
because men be true,
But that is not
but
the kind of
no
love that is the
no
love
no
of
no no
God.
no no no. See what you sit back and listen to
Mm-hmm.
is control by individuals, and it
I
and it's
still,
not love, it's addiction. They try to get you addicted to them.
what?
See the whole talk.
Yeah,
See,
yeah, but
yeah,
then you
but see
see,
the
that's the
foolishness.
thing.
The foolishness. We gotta get out of this foolishness. Let me tell you why I said it. I'm breaking. Hold on.
Mhm.
We got to get away from, because a guy sit on the pulpit
Mhm.
and preach these pretty sermons and make songs good and songs right. And then if you don't really check the contents of it, and then we start living this style, which is, most people are being screwed up. I can tell you today,
Mhm.
most people you see today who give themselves up completely,
Mhm.
individually give up, because they said that this is how God planned it. Hold on, wait. But this is a man planet, not God. See, you going to listen to the pastor, and you going to listen, and you now thinking in this way that it's supposed to be. Because I don't believe. You're laughing.
I laughing because there
Mhm.
is a misunderstanding there.
Yeah. And I don't believe that some of the way this love is being thrown around and treated, I think a lot of people are getting hurt because in their head, see, you come in here expecting me to be this good man.
Let me tell you, let me explain to you
Explain to me.
what I mean
Mm.
when I say give yourself completely and unconditionally.
Right.
That means I love you, irrespective of whether you have money, whether you black or white, whether you rich or poor, whether you healthy or
But that ain't what they
unhealthy.
preach in the church. They preach that you want to be blessed. You can be highly favored.
Yeah, but that's not love. That's not. And
No,
when you
I'm
talk
telling you
about
what
the
they teach.
control,
I am telling you what they teach.
and when you talk about the control,
You
when
ever
you
hear?
give,
You ever hear pastors preach about it's okay to live poor? Two
yeah, it's
people,
okay to
two
live
people be
poor
married. It's okay to
and
live
live
poor.
poor.
They always preach the positive side. They always say, "Well, oh, God can bless you. God with us.
Because
Go look for something blessing coming, and this and." See, I understand what they're trying to do, but you're putting that in my head. And if I fool
and
enough,
it's how you
if I'm fooling enough,
interpret it.
yeah. But see, ain't everybody got the right thinking to interpret it right?
Okay. But then it ain't no right way to say it to fit everybody's understanding.
Well,
So that is why communication, dialogue, exchange of ideas is what make us a community.
but you
And
know
that
why I'm
is
saying
why
this?
we are
You
built
know
the
why I'm
way
saying
we
this?
are.
Because the same preaching you taught me about how this is supposed to be the kingdom of this and that, you then also tell the kids or the child, the children,
Mhm.
that one day I'm gonna die and I have nothing. So all this building up is things you chasing after. See, look where I'm going with this. Why are we teaching this, and so we should teach just genuine love?
So what is genuine love, Tony?
Okay, genuine love is that I sit here,
Mhm.
God made me beautiful,
Mhm.
God made me whatever,
Mhm.
God made me the same way.
Right.
So why we can't come together and have one understanding?
Right.
Right. But
And
there's too many on. Sorry, you go on.
one understanding
Mhm.
means that we must share. And a lot of people who declare that they love someone don't even sit down and have a conversation with that individual.
But
So, how do you know that you love this
it's okay for
individual?
me and you to fight. See, stop telling people everything.
It's okay for us to disagree.
Yeah. When I say
Yes,
fight, I don't mean
yes,
physical.
yes.
It's okay for us to disagree.
And in our disagreement, that is how we get different
We're
perspectives
gonna,
on
because
certain
I'm
things.
going to respect you where you at. Once I understand, I'm talking
And
about love.
then and
Once
then
I
and
understand,
then
mhm,
if we have to also be open to the view of the other individual. So love, when I say you give, you have to be open. You have to be ready to receive.
see,
You give, but you also must be willing to receive because we're two strangers coming together from two different fields of
but
experience, holding two different worldviews. And so when you say you love me, I interpret that to say you're interested in getting to know
What?
me
Mm-hmm.
and also to respect me regardless to what differences you meet in my
But see,
world
see, God love.
compared to what exists in your
Okay,
world.
see, here where I got the problem is
Mhm.
God love. God love
Mhm.
is so highly favored and special. I don't want to mix up with me and you.
But God's love is it's simple. It is very simple.
Yeah.
And you know what it
Okay.
says? And you know one of the biggest thing that demonstrates God love
Mm-hmm.
is the words come as you are. I am not judging you. I am not I am here to teach you, to guide you, to support you if you will have me. That's what he says. And
Mm-hmm.
it's the same thing when it comes to human relationship. I am here to learn from you and you and to share with you so that
How many people you know, or how many people at the plot you know, will really take the poor
that is where the error and that is
and love the
why
poor?
we have been taught even man you don't even see love demonstrated in its true character within the church
Mhm. Yeah,
from the high to the low from the middle to the
yeah. So
you
now,
know, all
this love.
extremes from one extreme to the next.
So,
We
so
are flawed as human beings.
see, I don't want nobody. See, I don't want. You ever hear they say, "Teach me how to fish,
Mhm.
so I
And
can
there's a
fish."
song would also say, "Show me how
How to
to love,"
exactly
in
right.
the
True
true
love,
meaning
meaning
of
the
the
word,
word.
right? So, I want some. I want the church
Mhm.
show me how to love in the true meaning of the word.
Mhm.
I don't want you tell me one story and then you do the next because you have. See, I believe the church has a role to play, and the church brilliant role. We have some brothers who did some brilliant things.
Mhm.
Pastor Butler in Camp Road, brilliant. He worked in his community, brilliant. Neil Ellis, brilliant. Um, Pastor Watson, Pastor Roll, Prophet. We get a lot, even in the Catholic churches and Baptist
But
churches, so
even
all over the churches.
may I say
But
that
not many.
even among the names that you call, they too have their flaws.
Right.
They too have their
But I'm
shortcomings.
not even dealing with them on that internet. What I'm saying to you is that demonstration of love
Mhm.
don't come from preaching pretty words.
No.
It comes from your action. That's all I was going
Mhm.
on.
Mhm.
Okay. And
Yes.
your action.
Right.
And 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 love.
So, would you be shocked if someone was to come to you and call any one of their name in spite of all that they're doing in the community and say, "Oh, he's a mean man"?
Most of them ain't doing enough.
Because
They
from
ain't doing
one
enough.
moment to the next, right, depending on the day, and yes,
Some
the
doing it for
love
show.
of God constrains us, and the more we encounter and walk with Him, His word and His love transform us to be more like Him.
Yeah.
But in our humanness, we could be mean to certain people and very kind to other people. So the people that know our kindness don't know our meanness and our weakness. So when we bring that now into a love relationship,
Mhm.
this is where I am saying that in spite of my change
And
from one moment to the next, when I love you, I am open enough to recognize when I'm wrong and say I'm sorry. I am open enough to listen, to know that I don't know everything and my way is not superior to your way.
yeah,
That's
exactly.
love.
See, but let's go back to the love. Let's go back to the love before we distract. See, when you start a relationship with somebody, you you're expecting some things, right?
You expecting love. Basically, that's what people want.
So
I
so
think what people don't realize is what love means to me doesn't necessarily mean the same thing to you.
no.
Yes.
Love. Hold on. Love most times love
Mm-hmm.
to people is that I want you to do what I want to do. Why you say okay? That's
That's
what
for
it
some
is.
people. For
No,
some
but that's what it.
people.
See, let's go. Oh, hold on, hold on. Don't lose the thread. Don't lose the thread. Love is never 50-50,
Should be 100, a 100.
but it should be 50-50.
It should be 100, a 100.
Okay, 100, whatever.
I bring my
But but
100% love to you. You
but let me
bring
tell
your
you what.
100%,
Let me tell you what love
and
is.
we bring that
Like I said,
together,
love is
and
addiction.
it still remains 100. You know,
No,
it don't go to 200.
no, no. Hold on. Love is addiction. Let's go back here. Let's stay there. Addiction means one party 20% putting in, and the next one 80. That's the relationship you have down there.
That is the norm, but that's not what it should be.
No, that's not what it should be. That's what it is. I'm telling you what it is. Either the woman gets what she wants majority of the time, or the man gets. There's no compromising in the middle.
There are some though.
There might
There
be
are
some
some,
very small. There might be some very small. Now let me tell you why.
but we need to work towards it. That number
Let me
increasing.
tell you. Yeah, this is what our show is based on. But let me tell you why that happens.
Hmm.
It happens because most times people come in a relationship, and most men want to have it their way because they were taught go back to the church.
Man
They,
is the
man,
leader.
man is the lead.
He's
Go
the
back to the church,
head.
and then he take it
Out of context.
right. So that because that's what they preach, and that's what they teach. That's why I'm going. That's why I started the word of the church. So what had happened is that women are. This is where the problems. Women are fighting for her rights in the relationship,
Hmm.
and women become so strong in their approach.
Hmm.
They become the dominant factor in the relationship. And so what the men do is throw his hand up like, you know what, I keep the peace. You know what? And then the other ones go the opposite way and say, you know what, man, let a woman do it. When she brings drop all the money on the table, she do it better than me.
So what's the solution, Tony?
This is, no,
Let's.
no. I'm bringing the points out. I will get to the solution. I'm bringing the points out so when I get to the solution, we know how to attack the solution. See, if love is addiction, and most times they use another addiction to get rid of the addiction they have.
Hmm.
So in love and relationship, what most people are doing, they're watch now, they're using another addiction to get rid of the one, and you know what they do? That addiction is sweethearting. Before they leave you, they get addicted to somebody else. See, and this is the key to the source. And when this started to happen, they're having this breakdown.
Okay.
Once this breakdown is started, it's very hard for an old man like me to find a sexy young gal who makes my things pitch in every second.
Hmm.
For me to go back and the old woman like you.
Say that again.
Let me say it again. Okay. When I find my new addiction, which is the younger,
Right.
that's the addiction.
Hmm.
So when I find this addiction, she young and sexy.
Hmm.
So I get addicted to that because that makes my old boy or my penis, whatever you call
Okay.
it,
All right.
stand quicker,
Right.
ready to go. So why should I go back to you now? What is in you that I go back to and this nice young thing that done got my head all flock gone? I what I can do? Come back and play with you?
So Tony, that now makes me really, really sad.
What makes you sad?
It makes me sad because we have not really tapped into the principles of love.
There is no principle of love.
Yes, there has to be.
We see
There is no discipline
old school.
because what is it that, what is it? What is it? What is it that attracted you to your first love, this old woman now? Is it the same thing that's attracting you to the young woman that caused your penis to rise And you don't want to go back now to
because
the stable, older partner that you've had all these years.
the key is this: the new. Listen to the words I use. The new young Tim.
Hmm.
She's sexy as ever because her skin is tighter. Her probably
So
skin
it's
is
not
bleached.
about
Hold on,
sex.
hold on. It's not sex.
That's
Listen,
what I'm hearing.
no, she are now taking me to this new era.
So what else is she doing aside from her tight skin, a tight vagina, her sexy apparel? What else does she bring to the table?
She bringing the new
The
millennium,
new one.
the new millennium, right? You stuck in your rocker, you wouldn't change. That I preach.
I
Hold on,
still
wait, give me.
hearing the sex though.
No, ain't no sex. This ain't no
What
sex.
else is she bringing?
Hold on, listen.
I hear sexy
Could you
and I
listen?
hear tight.
No,
What
you
else?
stuck in your rock for so many years that I was preaching. Why? Watch the words. Why are you still cooking with garlic? Hold on, wait. Why are you still cooking that old pot chop that we changed from? People eat pot chop already. People, see, why are you still want not to go to? You just want to take me to church, and you can preach the word to me, but I have been hearing the word, the same word, every day, the same way, almost every word. So, watch now. She can take me. Watch this, what I can tell you. She's gonna fool me and take me to. She's gonna fool me and take me to a modern. Hold on a second. She's gonna fool me and take me to a modern church.
She can fool you and take you to a modern
That's the
church.
point I take it. Yeah, because I can get. That's a new era. I can get fooled. She can take me to a modern church, not where they teach the word, where they talk prosperity and uplifting and motivating. That's the sermon. So I can get refillness from the new church. Oh yeah. See, you can teach
But
fire and
all
brimstone.
the only thing in your head whilst you in that church with her is what?
She gonna make no. I can like the whole fact that she gonna make me probably change my lifestyle of dressing. She gonna dress me up a little more. She can go and buy. See, Gary. See. You
These
were
are
sitting
all
here.
material things.
They are not material things. You see, because you sit here thinking that the world is simple, and I didn't be in here, and I didn't do all these things. See, you stuck in the See,
I think
see,
I
the
hear
music you listen to
I hear
is
midlife crisis.
no, ain't no midnight crisis. This is a real fact. The music you listen to
I want to hear the love.
is
I
the
want to
old
hear
school.
what is the love factor that
The,
is over there that's not in your
the
home.
love factor over there is that she can put me to sleep every night. You know what you can do? Go to bed and say, I tired. Let me what? I work hard all. You know what she can do? She can say, "What are you gonna go? Let's go to the movies. Let's do this. Let's do that." She got the energy. See, it's called
And
common,
that's love.
but it's a part
And
of
that's
the addiction.
love.
It is the addiction because
So
my
the
addiction.
addiction.
Mhm.
Okay.
My addiction. See, this is where I will go to the love. That's why I tell you, listen to that word love. My addiction is probably different addiction from yours.
So it ain't got nothing to do with love.
No.
It's addiction to sex.
That's why on the show I said,
It's
take love out your
addiction
mouth.
to sex.
Take love.
But let
Out
me
your mouth.
say to you, Tony,
No, they don't know what love is. Addiction.
love is something more precious and different from addiction. The addictive part of love is there is a part that you can become addicted to, but that's only part of the package.
But when you let me run you down history. Let me give you why this happens to not you. I'm talking about generally. Why it happens to women and men who get these bad breaks and they wonder what happened. First of all, you wouldn't go and fix yourself, right? Men and women. I mean, talking about just more men and men. We're talking about men and women. You wouldn't go fix yourself up. You still stuck on.
That's not catering to the addiction.
No. Hold on. You still stuck in your old school way from 1960. And then you telling me, well, child, you go find somebody else. You telling me this, you know. Because I ain't changing.
Tony, those are still very superficial.
They are not. See,
Those are still
see.
very superficial
Okay, let me
aspects
talk
of
with
a
you. Let me talk
relationship.
with you and your superficial talk. Let me talk with you. So let me ask you a question. If I date you and I come home and I say, I don't like this pants you got on, but you like this pants very much, then what?
If you don't like the pants and I like the pants, I'll wear the pants when you're not around. When you're around, I'll find something
But
else to
what if
wear.
you have a woman who says to me, this is my pants, I paid for this, and you can't tell me how to wear this?
Well, that is where the respect is gone because you have to, you say love ain't 50-50, but love is definitely give and take.
Let me ask you a question.
It's
Let's
give
go.
and take.
See, because a lot of guys can watch the show and they can talk about it. Let's go back to this again.
Hmm.
Both sides, woman and man. A woman comes home and say to you, I don't like the food you cook. I keep telling you I don't like how it tastes. You think it's superficial?
No, that's not
Okay.
superficial.
So you're in a
Because
problem.
that that definitely
There isn't a problem.
that see that's why I'm saying that in this relationship it is about listening. You remember you talked about that the other day? You must listen to your partner. You must also respect your partner.
Right.
You must be considerate of what makes your partner happy and what makes your partner sad. Okay? You have to be in tune. It's like a dance. If you and I are dancing a waltz and you break out in funky chicken, the waltz music is still playing. Me and you are no longer in sync. Love is synchronization between two individuals.
Love has caused a lot of people lose their soul.
Synchronization.
Lose their soul. Love caused a lot of people don't want to be loved again.
But
Love
that wasn't love.
no,
Because love, the
because there
characteristics
was
of
addiction.
love, the characteristics of love draws an individual in. It doesn't push an
Let me
individual
ask a
away.
question with you. Let me ask a question. Let's say I have a question. Don't mind before the show. I have a question.
Hmm.
I save it for last. I want to save it for last.
Hmm.
Somebody asked me that. And
Okay.
we'll talk about it. Let's say I was married and my wife died.
Hmm.
Why do you think people say to themselves?
They had a bad experience in the first marriage, or they are still mourning.
Okay, and so you still mourn a dead man or dead woman.
That's an
You don't think
individual
that's
right.
crazy?
That's an individual right.
I know it might be, but you don't think that's crazy, though.
No, it's not.
So that's what makes love's addiction because you now addicted to the man who dead.
I wouldn't say that. I would not say that. I would not say that. The person may well have overcome the passing of their partner, but they probably only got married to see what marriage is like. So now that they have been liberated from being married, because guess what? You know what? A lot of people stay. Selfishness causes a lot of people to stay too, because they cannot give themselves again to another individual the way that they gave because they had to wait hand
so
and foot.
so
They
you
was burdened down. They was
so
this,
you think there
that,
was
the
love?
next. They were
So you
limited.
think there was love?
They loved. They loved under the conditions that they were in. And now that they're out of those conditions, they figure, what are some of the common things you hear people say about marriage and relationship? Oh, I won't be nobody's slave. I won't be nobody's
Stop.
this. And
Stop.
that's
What do you say, sir?
because
You don't be nobody.
slave.
Okay, so what I tell you,
Because most men see their wives as their handmaid and not their partner.
but what I told you really about love.
That ain't love.
Okay, I majority of people who married,
It ain't love.
and
And that's
the
and let me
woman
tell you
actually
something.
stuck.
Some people go into a relationship with a certain perspective, and our perspective on love could differ. And that is why I keep coming back to the fact that it is so important to date and communicate and conversate. Watch people in their social settings long before you lock yourself down, because you got to find someone who you're compatible with. If you're not compatible with that individual, you're gonna be living in hell.
Well, I'm going to ask you a question. What I was asked
Hmm.
this week,
Hmm.
and they said you better talk about it.
Okay.
So it's probably based on love, but it's love flavor. And I ask your opinion because I want to hear you say.
Hmm.
You married, your husband died.
Hmm.
You married, your husband died.
Hmm.
But your husband brother now want to love you. You tell me the story.
Well, if we're looking back again, everything we refer to the Bible. Um, in other cultures and from biblical teachings, when the husband died, the brother takes on the wife.
Mm-hmm.
In our society today, people say that's dirty, that's nasty, or he always had an eye on him, blah, 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 blah. Cultural changes, cultural differences change in time and in people's perception. So if I believe that it is okay for my deceased husband, brother, to have me, that's my business. That ain't nobody else's business.
It is your business,
Yeah.
100%. But in our culture,
In our
it's a
culture,
problem.
people will look, but
Now,
that's why you have to know what you know and that you are convicted of,
so,
because it's your personal conviction that you have to live with, not other people.
well, let me answer the person who asked me
Hmm.
because I think this is relevant to him
Hmm.
because he asked me to talk about it. I believe there's nothing wrong with it. I personally, if I die and I'm married
Hmm.
and my brother want to have my wife, I happy.
Because
At least he's still in the family,
normally too,
and I
when
know my brother.
when that happens,
Hmm.
it's not all about sex. Sex may come into the play,
Yeah,
but it's about caring for your brother's name,
right,
caring for the family name, making
exactly.
sure that that name is preserved and carried on, and your brother's children
Hmm.
are cared for and protected. Because what happens when a stranger come in? Your children get booted out left, right, and center.
But that is the part I think he wants to talk about. That's the part. You hit it. That's the last part. Does it come complicated for the children?
If it's a stranger, no. If it's, but then too, it all has to do with how this transition is communicated.
I will say this. I don't know the situation. This question was asked to me.
Mm-hmm.
And here what I think. I think the children
Mm-hmm.
might be catching the situation that might be difficult. So who I'm calling you now?
Uncle, he still remains
But
their
now you
uncle
come and take the father role. And what if this woman marry him?
and have children. Then the siblings will be cousins, but they'll still be siblings
Well,
on their mother's
yeah,
side.
but I don't have a problem with it. But when I thought about the deep rooted, and I,
Those are situations that the family must take into consideration.
mm,
And people will listen, people judge you when you is the most upstanding citizen. Somebody always have something negative to say. And that we have become so programmed that everybody looks alike, act alike, sleep alike, smell alike, think alike.
but that is the
But
problem.
God made us these blueprints. I finger nobody else has the same.
Unique. Everybody
I am
unique
unique.
in his way. And until
We give into social pressures.
yeah, we need to have a the him is somehow closed minded to new cultures and new things. And we need to change. This should be the year. We should change this year. We should say this is the year of change. Because we need to change our way of thinking. That is why around the world we get left. Now, don't get me wrong, because some things we got is unique that we should change. And I believe Spain, with all this stuff going in Europe and Spain, is trying to change the world and try to dictate what the world should become. It's totally wrong.
Well, Europe has always influenced the rest of the world.
See, Spain is so full of sex.
Sure, in France,
France, Spain, Paris.
Europe.
Yeah.
Europe. Sexual freedom, expression.
Yeah. And it's so the expression of it, of their love, is totally different. They want the world to accept their love, the way they express love.
So what's wrong with it?
You bring me flowers. You sing me love songs. You speak proper in words. You write it. Listen to me.
What's wrong with it, Tony?
Listen to me. My actions speak to it every day. I build my relationship based on what I do every day. If
So,
I might can't afford to bring roses, I might can't afford to even sing because I might can't sing. But I sure could be there for your every feeling, every moment. I can hold your hand, probably not every day, but I probably could do it most of the time. I could lie in the bed and clean up your dribble. I can also, when you walk in the door, hug you and tell you that I love you. I think, for me, love shouldn't have nothing to do with no money, no race, no class. Love should be simple, two people.
we keep it basic.
Keep it basic. Because when you start getting this all over the place, you run into problem. But too many people got their hand open for love.
But,
In a way of finance, in a way of the emotional feeling, you got to feed them. In the way of their physical, you got to make love to them. On the way of you putting on this impression that the world around you, everybody around you, got to know you and them love. Relationship should be based on me and the person and me and the person only. See, all of this causes the relationships to go crazy because so many things
pressure,
involved.
social pressure, expectation, living up to the expectation of the world.
Yeah.
It's you and the individual that's in that relationship, and only thing that happens after that is your children come into play, and then you two now focus on raising your
And
children.
if I want to drink rum, sit here and drink a bottle of wine, and when I finish, I'm happy. I giggle. That's going to make the love works. That's what I say. Go ahead and do it. I don't want nobody dictate to you how you love. See, because every love is the problem we have in a relationship because we're trying to be like somebody else. We're trying to adopt somebody else's habit.
So in essence, if you're having problems in your relationship, then you need to look and see what you're doing wrong.
Yes.
See whether you are meeting the need of your partner, and if you're the one whose needs are being neglected, communicate that to your partner. And the willingness of your partner, if your partner really loves you, they would be more than willing to change to make your life more meaningful.
But most partners ain't gonna do it because most partners don't have, I will use the right word, they don't have the means, the skill, or the talent.
So they need to go and
so
look for
what
help.
what they're doing, they're out there trying to use, watch this now, Linda's way she love, and the way she dress, and the way she look, and what she do.
So they want to be
They bring-
copycats.
Yeah, and that's where they get in the problem. They sit and listen
to other
to
people.
other people. They sit and
Yeah.
listen to somebody say,
Hmm.
"Child, I will do this," and "Child, I will do that."
They got the Joneses
Yeah,
syndrome.
but you know, you ain't doing it at home.
Hmm.
But if you fool enough to go listen to somebody and bring it
Hmm.
home, you screwed. And too long in our relationship, we always looking for something. We always looking for something. Why are we always looking for? Why are we looking for something all the time in a relationship? We always got a hand
Yeah.
out,
So we addicted to things.
addicted.
We need to be addicted to
Addicted.
get
I can't
addicted
stop holding it.
to
Can't
honesty,
stop squeezing it.
commitment,
Can't stop shaking it.
loyalty,
Can't stop binding it.
honesty.
Cause I addicted. Addicted. Go ahead. Honesty.
That's it. Yeah.
No, honesty. I know. I think it's either Rita Franklin have a song. I'm trying to figure out Rita Franklin
What is it?
says, "I wash, I cook, I clean, I also forgive him, and the bugger still
Go out there.
and do what he gotta do. But I love him." She said, "Don't mind, but I love him."
Mm.
And so,
So I mean, it's the character,
yeah,
and you know, you go and you talk about back in the day and the way it was, and our mothers staying home, regardless to what our fathers did. And I think that's because they loved him, not because, they were in competition and he would have children out there and he'd bring those children home and you love the children too.
and it's craziness. It's craziness. Now, watch this. We're going down this road. Let's go back to the church. Most people in the church have problems, but what we do, we don't talk about it because you hold the position in the church. So we can't let that secret of the bag. Because if my daughter get pregnant and I as assistant pastor to pastor, send her away or send her somewhere. You see, you ever hear any? Listen, what I say. This happens. This is crazy, but it happens. But you know why that happens? Because they have to build and live this
Image.
image.
Okay.
And then after this, they hurt the child.
The grandchild.
Yeah, everybody.
And themselves. They destroy their lineage.
Do not come back to this church
Mm.
because you
That's
got
not
pregnant.
love. That's not God's love.
But that's why when I was going on and you going down that road and I going behind you. But that's what I meant when I was talking about the church.
Mm.
So we have to be careful now and take back our love. You take back our love.
Yeah.
Let me tell you what we need to
Go
do.
back to basics.
Let me go back to me.
Go back
And
to
there's nothing,
basics.
folks. What I'm saying is nothing wrong for you, husband, to have a child out there, and you take it internally and deal with it. I'm not saying that. I'm saying to you, it's good to be forgiven. It's good to have forgiveness, but stop trying to paint this picture.
Of perfection.
And it's good to buck your toe. It's good to have a problem relationship and you talk about it.
Work it out. Work
Because
it out.
because in the
The
relationship,
bond gets stronger.
yeah. Because if you don't talk about it, sometimes there's nobody to help you.
Mhm.
So most times you say, and I know you Bahamian woman, this how you go. Child, I can fix this, but I ain't gonna do it right now. I can let him think I forget, and I can deal with this later.
Hold on to it.
And
Drag that heavy block on your back all
yeah,
day long.
and you
Every
make
day.
this man life a living hell,
Keep
and
whipping him with it.
keep whipping him, and you make him
That's
go
too
to
much
his knees.
stress. That's
Yeah,
too much
and he
stress.
goes to his knees crying out,
Mhm.
and guess what happened? He can't be a good man to you because you dominating him. Can't
Make
be a
him
good man.
sick too.
Yeah, he
Make
can't.
him
He
sick.
can't. He keeping his eye, one eye open, one eye closed. So every time he sleep, he say, "Now what's she next to?" So you think your little trick waking, but he double waking. Because always remember, some grass green out
Anyhow, I ain't going along that path. I think we
there.
just simply need to
but
be mature enough
but
to forgive.
but we learn to
Even
forgive.
though your partner may not forgive you if you were the one that was guilty. But again, in the realms of Christian faith,
Yeah.
forgive and move on
But the lesson
and enrich your life, because holding on to past mistakes does not allow you to grow, it keeps you stunted.
yeah, the lesson today is love is addiction. And the only way you could stop the addiction, you gotta control the addiction. So you have to control your life to suffer somebody else to destroying it. Because love will
Take
cause you,
control of yourself.
yeah, because love will cause you to all kind of food. And love will cause you will get hurt and you'll be the one, the victim all the time in this addiction. So that's the lesson to learn. Don't fool with this love. Love is just a talk of fantasy of imagination. Bang. Love has nothing to
Okay,
do with it.
ladies and gentlemen.
Anyway, that's our show for today. I want to sting you with it, but I tell you what, I ain't got no ring on my finger. I know. Y'all always question me, but it's ring on the finger. And I think when Jesus comes, I'll be ready. So, I want you to have a good day
Next week.
and enjoy.
Thanks for tuning in, all of you.
So
We know you're there.
Next week,
And
we can come off to love. We're going to go on to.
You coming up love next week is Valentine weekend.
That's Valentine's Day.
Yes.
That's what the love is standing for me.
Well,
I done got my red.
we got to feature one more segment on love, basically showing love in keeping love alive.
Listen,
in your relationship.
We can talk about since she said about Valentine.
Keeping love alive.
We can talk about good relationship and how it works, how good relationship develops, and how we develop good relationship, and what we do, and how we're gonna help marriages with their relationship. We can talk a little bit of sex. We can talk about red panties in the bed. We can talk out the bed. We can talk about how you walk sexy. When you walk in the room, everybody know you're there. Let me tell you one of the stories we can do. We can talk about a woman who know herself, a Christian-based woman who know the Lord. When she walk, everybody can shake their head and say, "Oh Jesus, she's a Christian. She's sexy. She's good looking, and she got man. She married." So next week,
continue to keep yourself safe. We're looking more like normal every day, but
a new stream coming.
We still need to protect ourselves. And new strains are always there. Germs are in the environment.
And germs are always in the environment.
Place.
So don't let them scare you. We just under the tree where me and Melanie meet. Every Saturday 4 o'clock, Tony and Melanie right here under the tree.
So take care.
And we ain't stop loving it yet. Can't stop loving it. Can't stop shaking it. Hey, I addicted. Hey, I
bye, everybody.
Have a good day. Bye bye.